So welcome to a very festive edition of Boxing Media Hub. I know it looks all jazzy and cheesy, but I don't care. We're nearly there. We're going for the Day of Reckoning preview, sponsored by Falcon Contracting, Price Global Solutions, and boxbets.co.uk, the home of boxing betting. Gamble responsibly, people, and 18 plus, as you all know. Ender's got his woolies on. Ash, goodness knows what he's wearing below the webcam. We never know. Thank you very much for joining us. Ash is our first guest this evening, and there'll be other people popping along as we go throughout the evening. But Day of Reckoning, lads, finally here. I don't know if you've seen the trailer to the DAZN trailer for this. It is mental. They've gone all out budget for this whole thing. I was really impressed by it, weren't you?
I didn't like it.
All right.
I wasn't.
It just wasn't my cup of tea.
Exactly. It wasn't my cup of tea either, Ash.
Oh, that's right then.
It's what I call style over substance.
Yeah. I thought it was very poorly done. And I just didn't like it all.
Anyway, so on Saturday, 23rd of December, in Riyadh, the Kingdom Arena in Saudi Arabia, obviously commissioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, but promoters-wise, they're all in on this one, which was a big shock to all of us. We got Bob Arum from Top Rank, Eddie Hearn from Matchroom Boxing, Dimitri Salita from Salita Promotions, Nissi Sauland from Wasserman, Ulf Steinforth from SES Sports Events GmbH, and Frank Warren at Queensbury Promotions, and all the others, because I think there's about 12 guys on this one. There's a lot involved. Obviously, big shout out to the guys in Saudi who have whacked this on. They've delivered in regards to a whole card. Probably one of the biggest cards that we've known, don't you think, guys?
I think personally, I think this is one of the best cards of my time watching boxing. Where you look at big names being on the same show, in very competitive fights. I can't remember a show like this. You know, you've got Joshua against Wallin, Wilder against Parker, Opateo against Zorro. I mean, those are three cracking fights in themselves. Yeah. They've got the rest. You got Dubois against Miller. That's a brilliant 50-50 fight. Yeah. I mean, it's got to be one of the.
Bivol Arthur's a headliner in itself.
Yeah, I mean, they all are really. I mean, they're all headline fights in their own right. You know, I'm really looking forward to this show. You know, it's going to be an absolute cracker, and I mean, to be honest, I do hope it gets the viewers they deserve, because it is a brilliant show, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Ender, you excited for this one, mate?
I am indeed. Well, no, actually, I'm not. Like everyone goes, oh, it's such a stacked card. It's not. It's a very one-sided, lopsided card. I mean, look at the odds. I mean, the odds are ridiculous for some of the fights. I'll just pull them up here because I had them earlier.
Just while you're pulling, we've got a comment. Hello, fellas. A bit late. Better late than never, though. It's going to be one hell of a show. Let's just hope AJ can get the win, as Otto Wallin is nobody's mug. Wilder KO over Parker in 5, in my opinion. Just to let you know already, guys, we put the predictions out there for the fights. So check out the predictions. There's individual shows for each prediction that we've done for this one as well. But back to Ender for the Day of Reckoning.
Okay, I have them now. The first fight, Arslanbek versus Ajit. Arslanbek is 10-1 on, and Ajit is 6-1. Then the next fight, Daniel Dubois and Jarrell Miller. Daniel is 10-3 on, 100-30 on, and Jarrell Miller is 5-2, and I think that's the closest possible one on the card. Yes, it is. Then we have Dimitri Bivol, 20-1 on. That means you have to put on £1 to win 20 pence. No, to win 5p. Sorry, to win 5p. £1 to win 5p. And Lyndon Arthur 10-1. Filip Hrgovic 50-1 on. So you have to put on £1 to win 2p. And Mark de Moria 18-1.
Come on, Mark.
Frank Sanchez 16-1 on. And Junior Fa 9-1. Jay Opataya 20-1 on. So that's, you put on £1 to win 5p. Ellis Zorro 10-1. And then you've Deontay Wilder 6-1 on. Joseph Parker 4-1. So basically you've to put on £1 to win about 15p on Deontay Wilder. And then finally Anthony Joshua. Again, this is another close one ish. It's 2-7 on, and Otto Wilden is 11-4. So, I mean, you might win 30p if you put £1 on Anthony Joshua. So
is it worth like on the day? Because I was speaking, I showed you the other day, didn't I, Ender, with the ones I was going to go for. Is it better for this sort of thing? Obviously, boxbets.co.uk is the place to go.
Yeah, well, they're like a boxing broker, so they'll guide you to the best prices on everyone. Now, I see Jamala said, it's odds are massively wild when it's a 2-horse race, but no, I've seen odds a lot closer than that. You know, I mean, there's bound to be a shock. I mean, 100-1 horse can win a horse race, but it's just not going to happen. It'll happen once in every 100 races. So I mean,
surely an accumulator would be your best chance.
If you did all that in accumulator and bet £1, you know how much you get back? £2.17. £2.17, and that includes your pound. So you only win £1.17. So all of those have to win, and that's very unlikely because there's always, as Jamal said, going to be.
I don't know whether I've been caught up in the hype or not. Maybe, quite possibly. But Otto Wallin against Anthony Joshua, I think that's a cracking fight. Wallin's up for it. And I think Wallin will cause him some serious problems, especially if AJ is hesitant and he isn't very confident.
Did you see Wallin's last fight?
Whose?
Wallin's last fight.
No, I don't like. Look, when I come and do these predictions, I just turn up and
go I'm not with the boat. That, but I just want to say it was so boring.
Well, look, I did watch it, and I was bored as well. But Otto Wallin is in with Anthony Joshua, former 2-time world champion.
No, former 2-time world title holder. Let's get this right.
World title holder.
Stop drinking Yeti Hearn Kool-Aid. He was never the lineal world champion, and he never had all the belts.
Look, that lineal bollocks is a load of bollocks.
You don't have
you don't hear about that until Fury come along.
There is only one British title. There's only one Commonwealth title. There's only one true European title. The others are bollocks. And world titles, you can be a world titleist, but there ain't 4 world champions. And for me, Anthony Joshua was never a real world champion.
The real world champion is Alexander Usyk.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
He holds the real title, and I'll go with them.
Who's all over the lineal champion bollocks.
Let's go to, speaking of bollocks, let's go to one of the boxers on the card here, Jay Opataya. A guy who dismantled the Brit the last time out. It was Canelo. Actually, he did it much better than Canelo ever did. He just bashed the head off him quicker than any of our predictions. And he's in again against
somebody.
Not somebody, Zorro, and I've never seen Zorro, and I was given out to for saying if you've never seen him, how can you not say he'd win? Well, because I look at form, I look at who they've fought, I look at where they've been and who they've been in with, and Zorro should stick to riding that horse around Mexico because he ain't gonna do much against against Jay Opataya. So just that's it. But anyway, back to why I got so excited about Jay Opataya. He was stripped of his title now because he wouldn't fight Martin Breedis. Isn't that correct, Joel?
Yeah, but the mad thing is, he couldn't fight Breedis.
Breedis is still fucking injured. So should Jay Opetaia give up on the purse of a lifetime for maybe a fight in the future? Absolutely not. So he told the IBF where to go, and the Ring magazine, even though he doesn't have any titles now, said, "You are the best cruiserweight. You are keeping your belt." So,
which says it all.
Which is why I like the Ring magazine belt. I know people complained at the weekend it wasn't on. I feel it should have been on, but listen, that's a toss-up argument. It's not a blatant one. Like, is there a better cruiserweight than Jay Opetaia? I don't think there is.
No,
Adam, of course, will say Chris Billum-Smith, but Adam will. If you ask Adam who the best pound-for-pound boxer in the world is, he will say Chris Billum-Smith. So
Ender.
Yes.
So in your eyes, this is a complete one-sided, mismatched show. Yes. Does that mean that the show won't be entertaining and it won't be worth the money? Will you be paying for the show to watch it?
I've paid already. I'm looking for a refund.
So it's a one-sided, one-horse race, but you're still paying to watch it.
Yeah, I like boxing.
Do you know what, though?
Massive contradiction.
Right. Here's the clue, right? Here's Arsenal, right? I watched them even when they were absolutely dog shit under Bruce Rioch and the end of the George Graham era. I mean, people talked about the Wenger era going dog shit. Like, we finished in the second. No, we didn't. We did. We finished 12th, So don't talk to me about watching something even though it's dog shit. It's just called supporting it. But I'm not going to say Arsenal are world beaters when they were 12th in the English league.
I'm not
saying watch it. It just means I'm not going to, throw sugar at it and say it's the greatest show pony ever seen, because it's not. The big fight coming up is February, and everybody knows that. Do you know
it's not the greatest show ever sold, but what I'm saying is it will be entertaining. You've got some brilliant fights on.
Yeah.
Which, even though
Boys is entertaining, it doesn't mean it's any good.
Well, you know what you should do then, Ender? You should take your money back.
I'm trying to get my money back. They won't give it to me.
You should take your money back, do the accumulator, make a little profit, and then watch the replays on YouTube the next day.
Do you know what?
If you feel like that.
For a 12-fold accumulator, the odds are better on betting on flipping a coin than betting on that, because in a 12-fold accumulator, the odds of one of them going against is high because 12 have to be exactly right.
And
but if the whole show is a one-horse race,
you know what Ash is trying to do. He's trying to get you to take your money back and put it on Mark Damori. That's what he's trying to do.
When the world's in the sky like a big piece of pie, that's Damori.
Put 15 quid on Damori, and you'll wake up the next day a very happy man.
No, I'm not going to give out. This is my right, and especially as I have paid, I'll be able to give out more because I paid.
Anyway, lads, we digress. Saudi Arabia this Saturday. It's a stacked card. I think that's how we can say it. I think in what Ash is trying to say is when we look at the names of Joshua, Wallin, Wilder, Parker, Bivol, Arthur, Dubois, Miller, Opetaia, Makhmudov, who's turning into a star in his own right. Junior Farr, let's not forget, he's got a big following in Australia. Mark Damori's got a big following in Australia. Hrgovic is still a guy that people, he's still in there, according to lots of people. So there's big people. Sanchez, Cabale is a European champion as well. So there's a lot of names on this card, and they're all stacked in, and we all get to enjoy them on one card. The first, I don't think they've given the full listing of what's coming up in what order yet, but I'll read it from the bottom. Obviously Hrgovic, Damori. We've put it out there in the prediction world already. A lot of people are looking at that upset. For me, it's just going to be a bore fest. Ender was in agreement. It's kind of just going to be one of those with Hrgovic written all over it. I know Ash, he's just going to lose 15 quid, but that's up to him. You've obviously got Frank Sanchez, Junior Farr. That's going to be happening as well.
Great fight. Brilliant fight.
The interesting one, Makhmudov. Now, everyone, this guy is a bit of a silent assassin. Doesn't say too much. Is he Russian, but lives in Canada now, I believe. And he's a unit. He's an absolute unit. And he's another guy in the heavyweight division who you could see further up that card in a year or two. I think it's fair to say, isn't it?
I'm expecting big things from Makhmudov, to be honest. I think he's probably got to be one of the rising stars in the heavyweight division.
Absolutely.
Along with Moses Itoma.
He scares the shit out of me just looking at him, Makhmudov. He literally looks a beast, doesn't he? What is he, 6'5" or something? He's along those lines, and he's one of these guys that he could just throw a shot. Whether you've got your guard up or not, you're going to feel it. He is one of those units. And I think that's going to be a step up for him against Cabell, who's the European champion. That's sort of the next step on the ladder for him to then just go up again. And then he's sort of sitting in that dangerous place, isn't he? Where he can then start looking at those other fights. Like we were saying before, try and find him here. Yeah, 18 fights, 18 wins, 17 knockouts. He's WBA Intercontinental and the North American Boxing Federation champion. He's not.
I think he destroys Cabell.
Yeah. And he's unbeaten.
Yeah, there's levels to this game. And
this is it.
I think Makhmudov just destroys him.
Yeah. But as I say, interesting one on the card. I'd rather watch that, probably the same as Ender. I'd rather watch that than watching Hrgovic or Junior Farr. I'd rather watch that for entertainment value more than anything. Is there any particular fight you're looking at, Ash, before we sort of go into the biggies? Any on that sort of?
No, I'm looking forward to watching Jaya Pattaya. Just because I love the way he comes in. He doesn't take a step back. He's in your face. He wants to fight. Every shot's a power shot. He's a do or die kind of guy. So I'm really looking forward to watching Pattaya. And I think the best fight on the card, the best two fights are going to be Miller and Dubois and Joshua Wallin. I think they're going to be the best two fights. I think Joshua Parker and Deontay Wilder will be a good fight while it lasts. I think Parker will just try and be very, very cautious. Box on the outside like he did against Joshua. But Wilder will crack him and, land that big shot. Probably in 4 or 5 rounds, I think. Maybe 6 tops. But that Joshua Wallin, I think that will start off as a chest match and then it will heat up quite nicely. And Dubois, Miller, I think Dubois will try and box and Miller will force him into a fight pretty early on. I think that being a cracking toe-to-toe slugfest. Really, I think that's probably the best fight on the card. I don't know what fight Ender's looking forward to. None of them from the sound of it.
For Hrgovic, Demori. That's the one for him.
Well, you can see from his face
he's excited. Just absolutely decapitate Zorro and then call out the other sham title holders at cruiserweight. That's what
William Smith. William Smith.
Yeah.
Just to say, we're now introducing Sugar-Free Burn. So, Ash, this is Luke. And Luke, this is Ash.
How are you,
and obviously, Ender. And
how you
myself.
doing, mate?
You missed my rant.
So, Luke, you join us at an interesting point. Ash was just saying how much he's looking forward to Hrgović versus Mark Demori. And obviously it's the one on the card for you, Luke.
Which bit are you looking forward to, Ash?
Hrgović versus Demori.
No, yeah, I'm looking forward to watching Mark Demori bring the upset. I think Hrgović will try and be as boring as he can. He'll try and send Demori to sleep with his boxing IQ and ability, and I think Demori will just say, "Fuck this," go in there, crack him one, and of course the upset. Big overhand right.
Did you like how Ash couldn't keep a straight face the whole time he was saying that as well?
Hrgović throws a lazy jab. Demori slips it, overhand right, flush on the chin. Good night, Irene. Massive upset. I earned some money from the bookies. We're all happy.
Luke, welcome.
Yeah, I look forward to shagging J-Lo on Saturday night as well.
J-Lo, that's who you go for.
Okay,
I go for Henry Cavill then.
Perfect. We all have the same chance.
Oh, absolutely. We have the same chance. Zorro against Jaya Pataya, I'd say. That's my chances.
I think, look, Mark Demori is what he is. He's in good shape. He keeps his body well, obviously, but he learned how to box off videos on YouTube, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And he didn't do too good of a job of it against David Hay. That was 10 years past his best. So I think Hrgović, look, at the end of the day, it should be 2 hits. It should be Hrgović hitting him and him hitting the floor. That should be it. I don't think it should go more than a minute, to be honest. If it does, Hrgović has some questions to answer.
So you're going for the take that finish?
Yeah, exactly.
It only takes a minute, girl.
It only takes a minute, girl.
That is take that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Grant.
We'll put it this way: there's more chance of Hrgović banging Mark Demori than there is Luke banging J-Lo.
But I think for Jaya Pataya's fight, I'm definitely going to go for the Highlander team. There can be only one.
Oh, yeah, look, great scoop as well off yourself, Joel. I really enjoyed that interview with Jay. He talked
brilliant,
really well.
Brilliant, isn't he? Just such a good guy. And
seems like a really great
he's your stereotypical Australian, he's Tasmanian, but I know Tasmania is part of Australia. He's just your typical, Aussie bloke, no bullshit, straight down the middle, straight down the pipe, just like his punches.
And his
I think that's why you love him.
I think after speaking to him, we had a brief chat as well, and he just said, look, whatever happens with the belt, because at the time they were still sort of contesting around things, and he sort of said, look, whatever happens with the belt, I'm just going to dominate and get all of them anyway. And I thought, I just believe this guy 100%. You can see it written all over him, and he's going to do it. You look at the rest of the division, and I know you do, Luke.
Division. Do you know?
And there's no doubt he's going to just clean up. There's no doubt.
No, definitely. His punch resistance is fantastic. He's got an amazing chin. He's got amazing speed. Got amazing footwork and power as well. He punched holes in Jordan Thompson, and I just think he is the best in the division, head and shoulders above the rest. To be honest, we know Bradis is still there, but he took a fair old shellacking now off Apataya when they fought. So it's hard to know. And as much as I like CBS and as much as obviously our friend Adam does, I can't see him lasting more than 4 or 5 rounds with Apataya. I think Apataya is really the business.
Not after Billum Smith's last fight. I think he took so many clean shots. Don't get me wrong, he got the guy out there with broken ribs.
Wouldn't.
No chance.
But yeah, look, this undercard, the non-heavyweight fights, we'll say, I know the Mark Demori fight is a heavyweight fight, but that's kind of a nothing fight at the same time. You're looking at Optaya versus Zorro. I think Optaya, again, like I said the last time Optaya fought, he doesn't play with his food. And I don't think he will this time either. I think he'll get Zorro out of there quick, fast, and in a hurry. And
statement.
Yeah, exactly. Just saying, look, lads, give me lads with belts or fuck off, because these lads aren't on my level. And I think that is how it'll look. He's the business.
Right. Here we go. Next one. As we're going to burn through. I know we won't hang around too much on this one. Frank Sanchez versus Junior Farr. Obviously, Junior Farr's had a very strange career. Went the rounds with Parker, but then got stopped by Lucas Brown in one round. But now he's kind of put himself back in a position to be on the card. But Frank Sanchez sounds like he's got metal in his hands. 23 fights, 23 wins, 16 knockouts. He's not there to mess around either. Junior Farr could be in a bit of trouble here.
Is Sanchez still with Reynoso?
Oh, I'm not too sure, but I know Junior Farr just hasn't been right, has he?
No, but I think I could see this. I don't know about the other lads. I could see this being like a 10-0 boring affair, to be honest. I think Sanchez will go in and not take any risks and just box his way to an easy decision.
Yeah.
I don't think Farr will have anything. I don't think Farr will have anything for him.
What do you reckon, Ash? Morning, mate.
Yeah, I'll probably say the same thing. I think it's probably going to be Junior Farr ain't going to do too much. I can see Sanchez probably getting him out of there, but Junior Farr's experience, maybe he holds on to the final bell. But yeah, I'm not like, this is one of the fights I'm like least excited about. Oh well, to be honest, from my response,
this is the meh fight, isn't it?
No,
yeah, I'm not excited for this fight at all. Like, I couldn't really care less about it, to be honest. Sanchez and Junior Farr, like just his name makes me want to like switch off from it.
That's harsh, coming from a guy that's named after a Pokemon trainer that's 10 years old.
Shots fired.
Wow, Ender's woken up.
Junior Farr, you know what Junior Farr reminds me of? And Luke might know. Soap. There's soap in Ireland called Farr soap.
There is, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So we're going to look at
how does he remind you of soup? Like, soap. Does he look like the soap?
No, because there's soap in Ireland.
The soap is called Farr.
Yeah, but I just
when I hear Farr, I think of that soap. I don't think of an antipodean.
We'll
just end it by saying I don't think Junior will go too far in his career.
No. Well, I like that.
You're stealing my corny lines. Back in a second. You keep talking.
Anyway,
get out all the controversial comments while I'm away, Ash.
Anyway, we'll leave all the soapy behaviour behind, and we'll move on to another one. Obviously, we've kind of covered 3 already. Interesting one now. Bivol versus Arthur. Now, for me, this only goes one way. But Lyndon Arthur's no mug. He will go out on his sword. I think he's a tough guy. He's one that will literally stand there and take it until a towel comes in or the corner pull him out. He's not a guy that quits. He will give it his all, and it's a big stage for Lyndon Arthur. Massive opportunity for him, but it's a very tough ask, don't you think, Ash?
Yeah, I can't see Lyndon Arthur putting this off, to be honest. I think it'll be entertaining. I think he'll give it everything he's got, but there are too many levels in between Arthur and Bivol. I mean, Bivol's elite, top on the top pound for pound fighters in the world, and Arthur is European level at best. So I mean, I just can't see Arthur being able to pull this one off at all. I think he'll give it everything he's got, but I mean, like, Bivol's not really a knockout artist, but I can see him breaking Arthur down and stopping him. Probably around 8 to 10, maybe even earlier, 6 to 8. But yeah, I just can't see Arthur being able to like do anything to like really, top over Bivol. Just can't see it.
Yeah. Luke, what's your thoughts on this one, mate? Obviously, we put the prediction shows out. Me and Ender have kind of voiced our opinions on these ones, but we'll chip in every now and again. But Luke, what do you reckon on this one? Bivol's a guy that you like.
Yeah, Bivol is a fantastic boxer. Has it all, second best light heavyweight in the world, in my opinion.
Behind
Peterbiev.
Well, I thought you were light heavyweight now. I thought that was the joke.
Oh, I'm not light heavyweight yet. No,
getting there though.
But getting there indeed.
Speaking of friends of the channel, Stephen
Evening, Stephen.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Yes, going to be a cracker.
I happened to bump into Lyndon a couple of weeks ago outside.
Oh, here we go. His name dropping again. His name dropping again.
Literally in the queue, just in the queue for the Katie Taylor fight. He happened to be there first thing as well because Alpha was fighting. Now, the only thing that worried me was I said to him, you have a tough night ahead of you, like in Saudi. And he was like, don't worry about it. And in my head, I was like, is that the right attitude to have? Like, that's a very strange thing to say about the biggest fight of your life, don't worry about it.
But maybe it's a good frame of mind to be in, just calm, cool, and collected.
Maybe, but I think...
Like, what do you want him to be, like, fucking punching the wall like a month away?
No, but say if it was me, if I'd be like, yeah, it is tough, but I'm ready. But he was like, don't worry about it. And I was just like, right, fair enough. If that's how you feel.
But that's his coping mechanism, So maybe that's just all it is. I wouldn't read too much into it.
Like, he was a lovely fella. I shook his hand and wished him the best of luck. From Manchester, like my dad, and we're always rooting for the localish guys to win a world title. But if you look at Bivol, he can his ceiling can go up and down depending who his opponent is too. We've seen that with Craig Richards, who gave him a very good fight. I thought Richards won 4 or 5 rounds in that fight. So Lyndon has that jab. He's got the size. He's a big lad. I was surprised at how big he was. Apparently Bivol can make 168, so he can't be the biggest light heavyweight in the world. So if Lyndon can be switched on.
Well, in fairness, if light heavyweights are anyway big at all, they go up to heavyweight.
Or cruiser, yeah.
No, but ultimately, like, light heavyweight's not going to leave light heavyweight for cruiserweight. But I
agree with Stephen.
I think you'll beat Lyndon quite.
Oh, absolutely. The one thing I have to say about this is Bivol was everybody's fighter of the year last year, 2022, and this will be his first fight in 2023. That is dreadful management.
Oh yeah.
By Frank Warren. Eddie Hearn.
But what I would say, I can look at ways of how Arthur can try to win the fight, but I just don't see it happening. I think, Bivol, once he gauges the distance, gets the footwork right, and if Bivol's switched on as well, because you can't underestimate anybody. Like, anyone above 12 stone can punch hard. So you can't discredit chance. There you go, Enda. There's a bit of confidence for tonight. But yeah,
skinny bitches can't push hard.
Don't tell Tommy Hearns I said that now. But
well, no, actually, what you didn't say what I implied. You said anyone above 12 stone can punch hard. You didn't say that. Didn't counter imply that anyone under 12 stone couldn't.
Put it this way. I wouldn't want to punch from in a way.
No. But yeah, look.
What was the name of that Charles Bronson movie again? Death Wish.
That's what that would be. But
exactly.
I think Bivol Bivol should be looking for the stoppage here. And again, it should be another statement as if to say, look, stop giving me these lads. Beterbiev next. I'm too good for the rest of them.
Yeah, but you know, and it's not Eddie Hearn's fault, but you know who's really holding, the Beterbiev trump card and it just won't play it? Suleiman of the WBC, because apparently Bivol is too Russian, but Beterbiev is as Canadian as maple syrup, which is a load of bullshit.
Look, at the end of the day, whether the WBC belt's on the line, it's number 1 versus number 2 in that fight if it happens.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter what belt's on the line.
Who do you think wins that fight, Luke?
I think Beterbiev. If Beterbiev doesn't age overnight, because we know he is getting older, but I think the last Beterbiev we saw would beat Bivol.
I agree with you, Luke. And the other thing is inactivity could cost Bivol.
It could, yeah, it could.
And this Lyndon Arthur fight ain't much of a fight either.
Yeah.
Well, it's as much of a fight as Bivol makes it.
It'll get the cover stuff, won't it?
It won't be a competitive fight. So it'll mean like it'll be nearly 18 months before Bivol will have a next competitive fight.
Yeah.
Between his last one and the next one.
Could you class Canelo Bivol as competitive? I wouldn't. When's the last time? Is Craig Richards the last competitive fight Bivol had? When you think about it, like.
Yeah.
A long time.
Well, in fairness to Canelo, Bivol was supposed to be the easiest light heavyweight, and that's why Eddie Hearn organised it. But Bivol just said, "No, I'm not having any of this crap."
Weight classes for a reason.
Exactly.
Well,
look, Bivol, if he has anything about him, he'll stop Arthur. That's.
Well, if he doesn't stop Arthur, he might as well throw his hat at it, because he won't beat Berbatov if he can't stop Arthur. Absolutely not.
I've got to go against the grain here, lads, and say that I think Bivol beats Beterbiev.
He's got the tools.
I'm not saying he wouldn't. If Bivol was as active as Beterbiev, he would win. I would back Bivol to win. However, because Beterbiev is more active, I just think he has the hunger and desire more. And Bivol had domestic problems as well, I know, so that's never good.
Yeah, Stephen's jumped in and he's put, so do I, Ash, which leads us.
I'll tell you what, this Stephen knows his stuff. He's agreed with me on 2 different occasions now. So
he didn't mention Mark Demori once, which leads us on to the next.
Stephen, he doesn't need to. He knows.
Tell us what you think of Mark Demori.
Doesn't it say a lot though about that fight where 2 people can say one will win and 2 other people say
absolutely.
The other
That's why we want it. That's a genuine 50-50.
Number 1 versus number 2 is all about.
Genuine 50-50, I mean, there's not many you can say that about. Now, in fairness, Fury Usyk is one that divides straight down the middle as well.
Yeah.
So they're the fights we want.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Anthony Joshua versus Wallin. I don't want to see Wilder versus Hrgovic. I want to see Wilder versus Joshua. And I don't want to be promised it every fucking time Anthony Joshua fights by Eddie Hearn.
You mean Wilder Parker?
Wilder Parker. What did I say? Wilder Hrgovic.
Yeah, you lost your head there.
Just thank God we're not getting Wilder Demori.
That would spell retirement for Wilder, I gotta tell you. This Demori is no joke.
Christ, you're more of a team man than Tony Bellew on the zone, you.
Well, what we're going to do, because I've got to shoot shortly to put the boy to bed, Ender's going to keep the channel rolling. But just before I leave, I'm going to say Daniel Dubois versus Jarrell Miller. Now, people are talking about a fight that could go either way. It depends on what Daniel Dubois we're going to get. Jarrell Miller looks like an absolute unit. What is he, 300 pounds? It's ridiculous. He's as wide as a tank. We forget that the guy is actually unbeaten still.
Well, except by Vada.
Apart from Vada.
I think they're 2-0, are they? Or 3-0.
But it's an interesting one. To be perfectly honest, when I first saw it, I thought, blimey, now this is an intriguing fight. A lot of people don't agree with it because of Jarrell Miller in his past, but he did go away. He did do his time, as it were, and he's come back into the sport, and he's been tested loads and loads of times, hasn't he, during this camp? He's put it out there on his socials accounts and this sort of thing, saying, blimey, he's never pissed so much in his life into sample pots. But
no, because usually he gets someone else to piss in the pot for him.
Dubois Miller. Yeah. Intriguing one. Do you think, Ash, before I shoot?
Like I said earlier, Joe, I think this is the best fight of the night for entertainment purposes. You know, if I think Dubois is going to come out, he's going to try and box. But Jarrell Miller, he knows what he's got to do. Walk forward, hands up, turn it into a dogfight, steamroll Dubois, and make him quit. He's fragile. He's got a fragile mind, and unless Dubois can knock out Jarrell Miller, which I can't really see because he's a 300-pound horse. You know, I mean, how are you dropping a 300-pound guy? You know, so yeah, I mean, just like Sam, I agree, Sam, and I can't wait for this fight.
This is like watching a freak show. You know, you really shouldn't look, but it's intriguing.
It's intriguing, yeah, 100%, 100%. It's the most intriguing fight on the card.
Like,
in my opinion.
You're not there for the quality and the boxing skill. You're just there to see what the hell happens.
Because
entertainment.
Daniel Dubois can bang at the same time. He can bang. He's proved it. But if you've got someone like that in front of you who is just literally going to bulldozer, he's quick as well for his size, Jarrell Miller. He's a bit of a freak. He shouldn't be.
Must be all that eggs that he eats makes him fast as well as everything else.
Blimey, he hasn't borrowed them from Ben, but it's kind of.
He's better eggs than Ben.
That's the way it is, though, isn't it? Don't you think, Luke? It's a real interesting fight, this one, that could go anywhere.
Yeah, look, I
personally, I see it only going one way, but I
really don't think Miller should be boxing. But it's an intriguing fight nonetheless, and like, you know, it's hard to call. Like, Dubois, I think, is actually better on his back foot than he is going forward. So I think the likes of Miller coming at him will suit him. You know, he's got that jab. He has that very simple style, step back, throw a right hand. But I do think, unfortunately now, I think Miller will be a bit too much for him.
Ash is just falling over. Sorry.
I think, look, I think Miller's going to get to him late. I'm rooting for Daniel here because I really don't like Jarrell Miller. I think he is one of the most potent cheats that we've had in the last few years. You know, people have popped once or whatever, contaminated this, contaminated that, but Jarrell was fecking injecting into himself, you know. So that's just the worst of the worst. But I do think, unfortunately, he will get to Daniel. I don't know if Daniel has that mettle when the going gets tough. And I think Jarrell will stop him maybe 8 or 9 rounds.
Yeah. Right. Well, I'm gonna hand over the baton to my fellow colleague. Ender's gonna take over because I've got to put the boy to bed. But yeah, it's a card that will be. Me and Ender are going to look to cover pretty much most of it. Looking forward to this one. It's going to be, as we say, more than anything, I think looking at this, it's going to be an event. It's going to be a really intriguing card. As I say, to have that sort of level of fighters all on one card, for me, it's one of the best things I've seen as a boxing fan on one night.
Joel, just to clarify, you left me with the Wilder and Joshua fights. That's the two we're doing.
And you get the Opataya. You can have a chat about.
I mentioned them earlier, yeah, but we'll do that properly. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Joel.
So you've got the 3. We'll chuck this
Joel
out.
Joel did the before the bell bit, and now I'm doing the.
You're doing the mains.
Mains,
Stephen, 100%. Luke, he shouldn't be anywhere near a ring Yeah, I don't. I think there's more people than Luke that are with on that one, and not a fan of either. But come on, Daniel Dubois. So we shall see.
I would say,
we shall see.
Just SWS boxing. Like I agree with you, but I mean, like you can't not but shout for Daniel Dubois. He's never failed as a drugs test. Like I mean, taking a knee isn't a sin. It isn't breaking any rules.
Whereas it's not
injecting
failure by
crap. It very much is. So
Yeah.
I don't like Daniel Dubois as a boxer one bit, but I'm shouting for him 100%. But I don't think he'll win.
Yeah. Here we go. Stephen McGurr. I'm looking forward to seeing Sanchez and Cabal on the night. Haven't seen too much of them. I think that's the intriguing thing. If you haven't seen some of these fighters before, they're putting on the biggest stage here, and we're going to see what these guys can deliver. SWS boxing. Come on, Zorro, as well. Big up, Ellis, man. Do you know what? Big up to him for taking the fight. But for me, I only see one outcome, Sam, on this one, mate. Jai is, after chatting to him as well, he was so...
You're as bad as Luke now. After chatting to my friend Jai, I was talking to Jai the other day.
No, do you know what I mean? I think just...
I'm only yanking your chain, Joel.
Oh, I know. After talking to him, he just...
I say,
you could see it in his eyes. You could see it in his eyes, though.
Mention who you like, Joel.
Mention who I like.
100%. Yeah, mention
Jai Optaia is my favourite fighter at the moment. I'm not going to lie.
And I think as well, like as much as we do slag like about name dropping or whatever, when you actually speak to someone about a certain topic and see how they react, it does make a difference.
Oh, absolutely,
you know, genuinely does.
Oh no, 100% like it. And I think that's why Joel's interviews with Jai were so engaging, you know. And also, speaking of interviews with people from Australia, your interview was brilliant with
Lucas.
Yeah,
Brown.
Lucas Brown. It was. He sounded nothing like I expected him to sound.
Do you want to know a funny story about him?
Come on,
go for it, Luke.
I've got to go after this though.
Okay, funny story.
When I first got my boxing license, with the whole diabetes thing and got that sorted, he was one of the people I spoke to about it at the time, and I told him, and he goes, I don't know whether to congratulate you or not. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, well, being diabetic's kind of shit, but I'm delighted that you got your boxing.
At least he was honest.
Well, come here. Yeah. In the words of Brass Eye, have you good diabetes or bad diabetes?
Yeah.
Well, I have the bad diabetes.
I have the bad one.
Oh,
well, on this one, I'm going to take this as my parting call with good night, Zorro from Steve McGurr. And I will see you all soon. Ender, thank you very much for taking over as always, my right hand man. Luke, great to see you, mate. We'll have a chat soon. Ash, you're a star, but you look creepy in the dark. And I will see. I will catch up with you all soon. As I say, lads, if you want to drop in on Saturday during the fights that me and Ender are doing, guests are all welcome throughout the evening. Just pop on and we'll have a chat and a laugh.
Yeah, like say between the fights, if you want to have a chat.
Yeah,
about
yeah.
It, you know?
It's gonna be a giggle
between rounds, but that's very brief. You know, there really isn't enough time. So probably immediately after, or immediately before the fight's probably the best time.
Sounds good. Yeah.
But no, thank you very much, lads, as always, and I will see you soon. Ender, I'll leave you to chat away an outro at the end, and I'll see you soon, mate. I'll speak to you tomorrow.
Cool. Thanks very much.
See you later, boys.
Bye-bye.
See you, Joel.
Bye.
Now, Joel is gone, so...
we can have some fun now.
Oh, Jesus, I don't like that one.
This is Ender. There we go.
Yeah, that's better.
Come on, Ender. Let's get the party started.
Who's moving them?
Not me.
Don't even know how you change it.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Oh, Joel's changing it in the background of Bowsy. Anyway, yeah, this one's fine. Right, so we're going on to the Jai Optaia Zorro fight now. So me and Ash kind of touched on it earlier. So Luke, what's your opinion on the Jai Optaia Zorro fight?
I think Apataya is going to make another big statement. I think he's going to go in, show everyone that, you know, Zorro is not on his level. Only give me men with belts. That's it. I think
it's ironic considering he had to forfeit one today.
Yeah, but look, we all know he's number one in the division.
Absolutely.
I think anyone who says different is kidding themselves.
That's very harsh on poor Adam.
Look, I think even Adam will concede as who is the best. It doesn't mean he's his favorite, but
exactly.
I think CBS.
My favorite is actually the best.
But there you go, same as me. Correlation, not causation. But
after December, back on number one pound for pound.
But I think you know, CBS, like, as much as I like him, I couldn't give him 5 or 6 rounds against Apataya.
Oh God, no.
You know, and then
I wouldn't want him to be in for 5 or 6 against Apataya. He's such a nice guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly. But look, it is what it is. Apataya, like I said earlier on in this episode, and like after the Thompson fight, he doesn't play with his food. He's not going to mess around on Saturday. He's going to show.
Not there to fuck spiders. Very popular Australian phrase.
Exactly. But yeah, look, I think he's going to do the job quick.
Apologies for the bad language, which kind of I did. So
and on to the next one, and hopefully the next one will be a title fight.
Yes, absolutely. And who would you like to see him face of the titleists?
To be honest with you, I'd like to see him over here in the UK. Well, over here.
Yeah. I just so we could go see him. You know, I'd be like, yeah, like Crispin and Smith in Bournemouth. It'd be awesome.
100%. Absolutely. But I'd like to see him against anybody. You know.
Oh yeah. What say you, Ash, on that fight there? I know you spoke earlier. And by the way, can you move to your right because you're right behind the logo there?
Hang on, lads. Hang on. Let me try and.
There. That's.
A bit of a shuffle around today. How's I looking?
Yeah, that's better. Just better.
There we go. They're on about Joy Apataya against Zorro. Yeah, I can't. To be honest, I agree with Luke. I don't think it's going to last too long. I think he'll end the fight within 4 to 6 rounds. I mean, Zorro's a tough guy, you know. I watched him the other day, and he can bang a bit, and he can fight, and he can dig in. But I think Joy Apataya's on another level.
Yeah, I think that's the point. Like, I mean, against his own level, Zorro is perfectly capable, you know. But Joy Apataya is a different beast, as Thompson found out, you know.
Yep.
Because I would say Zorro and Thompson are around the same level.
Yeah, Zorro would give Thompson a very, very good fight. He probably beat Thompson. He beat Thompson.
If he wouldn't beat Thompson, he's no hope against Joy Apataya. That would be my reasoning. I'm not criticizing him. I'm just saying there's levels to this. You know, but like we were saying to about the other guys earlier, Lyndon Arthur, it's a big payday, fair dues to taking it. But in fairness, who would you rather face? Would you rather be Lyndon Arthur or would you rather be Ellis Zorro?
Oh, definitely Arthur.
Lyndon Arthur, without a doubt, because Biffle will play with you. Box you and take his time, and not every shot's going to be a power shot with Bivol, whereas with Joy Apataya, you know you're going into the fire.
There's no chickening out option. If you lose, you have to fight Beterbiev if you won't fight either of them. So which is it? Bivol?
I would rather fight Apataya and Beterbiev though at the same time.
No, but that's why I was saying if you don't pick one of these, I'm going to give you a more horrible option. So I would agree with you there.
Yeah, Bivol's my choice.
Yeah, I think we'd all pick Bivol. He'd kill me, but he'd, you know, actually, at least Joy Apataya might be a quick death. Maybe that's why I'd pick Apataya. But anyway, so yeah, we're all kind of going for pretty much. I think this could be. Didn't I say round 1 of my prediction? I think I went as dramatic as that, and I was absolutely. I was castigated.
I think we got a bit excited there, and didn't you, with the round 1 prediction?
Well, I just think because ye had 2 and 3 gone, I wasn't going to go to 4, so I went to 1.
At the same time, like, I don't know how good of a chin Zorro has. I've never seen him clocked. Do you know? Even against against Burke, like, it's a different level with Apataya. Do you know? So I'm gonna say 3 or 4, but like, it could be 1. You could be right.
It could,
you know what I mean?
but like initially, because 2 and 3 were gone,
like, it could
I
be
would
one
have
left
picked
hand done.
2 or 3, but like that, I mean, he's there to put on a show and he wants his name out there in lights. And if he gets that dramatic round 1 stoppage, that'll be the kind of stuff that'll go around the world.
The Saudis will be rubbing their hands together.
Yeah, especially when you've like got 12 rounds of mauling later on, But yeah, absolutely. Right. So that seems
Ellis Summer boxed Dick Spellman.
He did, yeah.
Did he? I mean,
Spellman went up. Spellman fought Yard and Arthur, and then he went up to cruiserweight.
I'm just watching Dick Spellman against Ellis Summer now, and Spellman's outboxing him. I mean,
like this fight, they just needed someone who'd take on Apataya at short notice.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I agree with. Anyway, we're going to move on from that quickly. We're going to now. He seems to have this in the wrong order because he's Anthony Joshua and Wallin next. But my understanding is that's the main event. So I'm going to go Deontay Wilder, Joseph Parker. What do you got, boys?
Who's going first?
Luke, you might as well. He's drinking or something.
I think Wilder's going to clear Parker. I think fifth round. I think Parker's going to start well enough. And then once Wilder, with that long lead hand, gets his timing and range, it's all over.
Absolutely.
I think round 5, Wilder. And I don't think it's going to be a TKO either. I think it's going to be a knockout.
Yeah, I agree with you there. See, Sam has come in with the whole way to round 8. Sam's going for. So,
if
Stephen McGurr is obviously reading my notes. Wilder within 4. I could definitely see that, Stephen, because if Wilder catches Parker doesn't ever seem to, have the best chin either. And
look, activity as activity matters, and Parker's been nothing but active. That's the only reason I think it'll go to 5. I think it'll take a few rounds for Wilder to get his mark. Yeah, no, he will. There will be kind of it's not. And I think he might have moments of success. I think he might hit Wilder a few times. Oh yeah, but Wilder will always be willing to take a shot. Wilder is always this kind of take one to give one kind of guy. Yeah. So what say you, Ash?
I can't. Well, yeah. I mean, look at what Stephen's saying. Parker might.
Sorry.
I'll put him back up. Parker might start well with plenty of movement. As soon as Wilder catches him, the whole thing changes. You know what? Me and Stephen being we were on a part tonight. I just feel exactly the same, mate. 3 times we come up with the exact same prediction. I just, I mean, no words needed. Stephen said it all.
Joshua. Stephen's agreeing with what I'm saying too. So what does that mean?
Joseph Parker will come out. He'll try and play it safe. He'll box. He'll move. He'll try and ride the early storm, and then think they can come on strong later on. Because Wilder does flag, I mean, onwards in the fight. We know he does. But
I don't think it'll go long enough for Wilder to flag. That's
it won't. But that's what Parker will be banking on. Wilder will flag after 6 rounds. He can come on and put the pressure on and win the rounds and win the fight. But that's not going to it's not going to happen. I think I think Wilder catches him. I think he catches him round 4 to 6. Maybe even round 2 or 3. I can't see Joseph Parker staying out of range. He gets hit way too easily. Absolutely. I mean, look at Jake Joyce. Jake Joyce just absolutely annihilated him. And Parker doesn't hit hard enough to knock people out. Not of that size, anyway. So, I mean, yeah, I just, I mean, a guy that can get knocked out, breaking down and knocked out by Jake Joyce, it's suicide to fight Deontay Wilder.
Absolutely, I would agree with you. And just as well, Andy Lee being his coach, I wouldn't recommend the Andy Lee style for Joseph Parker in this kind of, get knocked down, then get up and knock him out, because if he gets knocked down, he ain't getting back up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're all fairly unanimous there. That'll be a stoppage for Wilder within 6. I think definitely nobody's pushing it beyond 6.
I think Joseph Parker, he's got to be paid a lot of money for this fight.
Oh,
There's got
absolutely.
to be life-changing money for him.
Yeah, because it could be a life-changing fight. You could be eating to a straw after this for a while.
Yeah.
But right, so we're all unanimous on that. So I think we'll move on then to the main event, Anthony Joshua versus Otto Wallin. So what way we got this? Joshua, 29 fights, 26 wins, 23 KOs versus Otto Wallin, 28 fights, 26 wins, 1 no contest, and 14 KOs. So he's a 50% KO record versus Joshua's 70% KO record. Joshua was last out on the in August 2023 against Hellenius, and he won round 7 KO after 6 very boring rounds. And Wallin, oh good lord, he was also out against Gassiev, and he won on a split decision on one of the worst boxing matches I've ever seen in my life. So, guys, who you got? Who wants to go first?
Go on, Luke.
Yeah, I think this is a fascinating fight. I'm probably one of the only few people who thinks this, but
yes.
Look, it all depends, on what Joshua shows up to us at the end of the day. He's been talking the talk there recently, but you've got to get in and do it once the bell goes. And I think I really rate Wallin as a boxer. I thought he was really impressive against Gassiev. He totally disarmed Gassiev at every entry, and he outboxed him cleanly. Against Fury, he dealt with the size really well against Fury. Used his
he actually did perform well against Fury. To give him his flowers for that.
He was very good against Fury. I don't think he's the best man to be fighting if you're preparing for Wilder either. But that's another story. But look,
could it be a bit like our friend Lyndon Arthur? He's just there to do a job.
I think he's there to win, genuinely.
So would you put money? If you were putting money on an upset, that would be the one you'd go for?
100%.
And I'm the exact same, would you believe? But I still believe that, like the coming of our Lord at Christmas, for those that believe in that this is all predetermined, and that Joshua win is worth more for everyone, including Mr. Wallin.
Yeah, well, look, I'm gonna just try and look at it as all everyone's trying to win, and I think Wallin has every tool.
You still believe in the purity of boxing. You're like that child that still believes in Santa. It's wonderful to see.
Exactly. Yeah, look, I think Wallin has every tool to beat Joshua.
The miracle the miracle in Riyadh.
Especially the Joshua we've seen this year.
Yeah, but I said, Joshua seemed to have lost his mojo since that first loss to Ruiz, And the replay was a joke. Ruiz was eating Snickers and in between rounds. He was that fat and unfit.
He didn't care about the rematch. But Usyk Gassiev was the hardest puncher he's fought. And he said that after the 2 Joshua fights. So if Wallin can cope with Joshua's power early, establish his jab, get the movement going, and win some rounds, we could see an upset here. I really do think so. If there's going to be an upset, it's going to be in this one.
Well, I agree with that point. If there's going to be an upset, this is the fight it's going to happen in. But the cynic in me thinks that Wallin is just there to show up and, go through the motions.
Look, this is how I'll put it. So if they're both there to win, I think Wallin can pull it off.
Absolutely. If I thought Wallin in his head and in his brain and in his heart felt I'm out here to win this, I think he stands a good chance. But if he's just there to take his check and allow Wilder, I nearly said Wilder Fury 4, Wilder Joshua to happen, then that'll just happen. What say you, Ash?
I think I think this is one of the best fights on the show. A tentative,
That's strange praise,
nervous.
given the card.
Yeah, given the card. I think a tentative, nervous, shy Joshua really struggles against an eager, motivated, and energized Wallin. Do I think Wallin wins? No. I think there's way too much money, too much at stake for Joshua Wilder. And as competitive as I think it will be, I think Joshua will win a split or majority decision.
If it goes to decision, Josh was going to get it no matter what. But
100%.
just Stephen has popped in with his, and again, this seems to be echoing what we're all saying. This is the potential to be the upset, but he picks Joshua to stop him around 10, which is kind of where I was going. You know, the 10 to 12. You know, the late stoppage for Joshua.
Rounds.
Sorry?
The championship rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. Because Joshua would have worn Wallin down. However, if Wallin, you know, sniffs success, has some success because of Joshua's, you know, timidness, you know, his lack of mojo, his lack of bite, you know, his lack of Lucozade, I don't know. But I mean, you know, maybe he won't get the Lynx effect and he won't fight so well in this fight. But other deodorant brands are available, to be sure. But sorry, that was a really corny joke. But no, I agree with Stephen there, and definitely I think, you know, if I was to put money on this fight, in fact I did. I put money on Joshua to win by stoppage in rounds 9 to 12. That's actually what I put money on. So here's me putting my money where my mouth is. You know, that's what I backed.
Yeah, fair enough.
So guys,
it's heavyweight boxing at the end of the day.
Exactly.
And if Joshua comes in balls to the wall like he used to, I expect him to bang Wallin out. But I just don't know. We've not seen it in a long, long time.
Exactly. So, that's the whole point. That's why I'm not saying it's going to be an early stoppage. I think this could be just kind of you know, like the last one, you know, it'll be a later on. But
this is my, like, Joshua for me is I'll believe it when I see it.
Oh, absolutely. And
so that's
even when I do see it, I'll be very cynical. I'll be like, oh yeah, that was going to happen anyway. You know?
So take away Joshua's what's it called? Tentativeness.
Yeah.
Tentativeness. Take away his being a bit more shy, a bit more defensive, a bit more punch shy. Take away all of that. Do we think that since the Andy Ruiz fights that Joshua has improved under his new trainers?
No.
Improved technically, yes. But I think what made him so good was his rawness. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I think
there's a happy medium there that he needs to hit.
Well, the two boxers agree, so that's fine.
Well, look, if you look, his fight against Helenius was a snowfest.
He lost a couple of rounds in that fight.
But it was a good stoppage.
But if you look at what Joshua did, as well as his other fight before that, I think sorry, that fight. He was working on things. He was learning in the ring. He was practicing stuff that he'd done in the gym, taking his time.
Anyway, Ash, I know you're a bit like Wilder and all those that need a few rounds to warm up. However, now the 12th and the bell is sounded for the end of the 12th and final round. So I'm going to thank you guys for your predictions. It's been great. So I'm just going to finish. Upset of the night. Who's going to take it? Ash.
Wallin.
Is your name Ash?
Don't be Mark tomorrow, surely.
I knew you'd say that. Right. Luke, you
Wallin.
said Wallin.
Yeah.
And Stephen, I presume he's also Wallin, Stephen McGurr. And I actually would say if there was to be an upset, it would be Wallin. But now, just to finish on this, Stephen, He should have stuck with McCracken. He knew his strengths, more importantly, he knew his weaknesses. By changing trainers so much, he's blamed everyone but himself. And I agree completely with Stephen on that. It was always somebody else's fault. And if you don't take responsibility for yourself, then you're not going to learn and you're not going to develop. And on that note, we better do one of those outro things that Joel loves so much. So
adios.
What? But stay there for a moment, please. Where's the bloody thing? Have a bit of this.